Welcome back to IGN Live from Gamescom in Germany. It's time to check in on Assassin's Creed Unity. Alex here is going to give us an update. Alex, welcome to the show. Do you know what the significance of the number 75 is?
What is it?
75 days from today, Assassin's Creed Unity will be released.
Of course.
It's right around the corner. What are you going to show us today?
We're going to show you guys a run-through of one of our demos that we prepared for Gamescom. This is actually the first assassination mission that we have in the game. And it introduces a new concept of mission that we have called the black box design. It's an internal word we use to describe a 360-degree approach mission. So what we're seeing now is Arnaud sort of scoping out the mission area before we start. He sees a lot of different clues. These clues that are revealed in the cinematic will actually help him guide him through the different options that you have, these different mod missions that you have that you can perform that actually change the outcome of the mission. So in this case, like this guy here, we learned that he's supposed to meet the target inside. So it's a clue that maybe if you follow him, you can get more information on the target. This guy here has keys that he's stolen from the priest. These are the keys that give you access to the church, so maybe if you actually go and steal those keys back, you'll have free access to Notre Dame.
Plans fail.
Which one are we going to choose today?
Which one what?
Which path are we going to choose today?
So what we're going to try to do is going to show a little bit of different things, like navigation, a little bit of stealth, and we're in this specific mission, there's actually a special assassination, like a special, like prepared cinematic assassination, and we're really going to try to go for that one. So, at the end of each black box cinematic, we have this camera. It's sort of a high-level camera that pulls up and shows you the overview of the mission, gives you a lot of different clues as to different approaches you can take. Sure. Now we're just going to sort of dive in, use a new controlled descent to dive into that crowd gathered in front of Notre Dame and try to go see that dude that was supposed to meet the target. Now, controlled descent is part of the. We actually skipped that, but controlled descent is actually part of the new improvements we've made to navigation. You see here the dense crowd in front of Notre Dame, and this is the target. Like now, by triggering Eagle Pulse, we can actually eavesdrop on that conversation and get some clues as to exactly what's going on. This is the new stealth mode we have. Like eavesdropping on this conversation here, we actually learn that there's a secret meeting that's going to happen between this guy and the target in the confessional in Notre Dame. Yep. So if you can kill this guy and you can't make it to the confessional and you can take the guy's place in the confessional, well, that opens the opportunity for a special kill. We've improved climbing. Obviously, we have the controlled descent, but we have really improved climbing, even climbing up. As you can see, the city of Paris is huge. It's a 1-for-1 scale. This is the first time we're doing this in AC. 1-for-1 scale, which means that Notre Dame is actually full-sized building. Wow. It actually opens up the door also to have seamless interiors without any loading, right? You can just go in and out of about one building out of every 4 buildings in Paris. You can go inside. Now here's the controlled descent.
Yeah, so you're able to get down to the ground much more quickly now.
Exactly. Now, those guys that stole the keys are in this tavern here by actually sneaking in. We could just go down there and kill them and get the keys, but we're going to try to do it stealthily without them even knowing. Skip that part. So, we're now inside Notre Dame. We've obviously opened a passage using the key. Now we can just dive down into that crowd. You see there's a lot of stuff here inside the church, but historically, during the Revolution, there actually was a lot of stuff inside the church. They brought livestock, they brought haystacks, all that stuff. So Arnaud only has 1 blade, so he has to be really creative when he does double assassinations, like you just saw there. Now we see the target heading into the confessional. We can try to make it in stealthily. And there you go.
Everything's in place.
We've really improved cinematics in the game. Like we have this new performance capture technology that we use, and these are the actual characters. From the in-game, we're just seeing them up close. The lighting is phenomenal. It's a brand new lighting system. It actually uses physically based lighting, which gives us this amazing detail.
Good. If we're done here, I'll take my leave.
Now, at any point during the scene, you can actually assassinate the target, or you can just wait till he stops talking. He'll leave the confessional, and you can kill him in any other way. But this is obviously a very way of getting the target.
Pretty brutal.
Pretty brutal. Now, what we're seeing here is the new type of white room that we now have. Before we used to have these conversations with the target that sort of, added a lot to character development. Right now, what these white rooms do is they really move the plot forward. So he's seeing his life flash before his eyes, and through it you're getting clues to the next missions. Obviously, we've edited it not to spoil anything, but they're actually a lot longer. in the actual game. Now, the mission is not over until you actually get out of there. You don't just complete a mission by assassinating the target. You need to leave the area. Only then will the mission be over. So this is why it's not really recommended to just jump at the target and kill him, because all guards will attack you, and because combat is a lot more challenging, you'll probably get killed.
Yeah.
This is another thing we did on ACU, is that we really try to favor social stealth. But to do that, you need to make sure that combat is challenging, or else it becomes the path of least resistance, and players will always try to use the combat path, right? This is a secret passage that leads out of the cathedral. Now, keep in mind, if the player had been playing the game from a week, and he had explored Paris, he could have found one of the many hundreds of quests we have and discovered the secret passage before. He could even use this passage to actually get into the cathedral and use this to kill the target. It's really up to the way you want to play the game, and this is really what's special about Unity, is that we're really trying to make these missions more open-ended and try to explore, player creativity.
I mean, I think that's saying a lot, because I think Assassin's Creed has already been pretty open-ended.
Yep.
So that's awesome.
Unity is really the first fully next-generation iteration of the franchise, and we're really trying to have that same impact that we've had with the first Assassin's Creed by really redefining the action-adventure genre.
Yeah. Now, I want to ask about the murder mysteries.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since you guys showed them at E3, I've been very interested in them.
Okay.
Can you explain more about how they work?
Yeah, there's actually a character that existed in Paris at this time. He was really young. It's called Vidocq. He's sort of the father of modern French criminology. You actually meet him, and he wants to get rid of, even at a young age, he wants to get rid of crime in Paris, and you can actually do jobs for him. You will stumble upon dead bodies in Paris, and if you choose, you can actually try to solve the mysteries. Now, to solve these mysteries, you have to investigate, find clues. You have this little booklet where you enter the clues, you read the clues, you follow them to characters, you interrogate them, and once you have suspects, you can actually run around Paris talking to suspects, and you can actually accuse anybody, and whoever you accuse is going to be in jail. Now, that person might or might not be guilty. So it just really depends on how well you do your job or not.
Then do you find out if you were right?
You do, because of your reward.
Okay, interesting. Now, Unity also allows for up to 4 players cooperatively.
Yep.
Do you encounter any new challenges designing a game for 4 players as opposed to just 1?
It is. It is very challenging because, we've been wanting to do co-op for a long time. But it is a really challenging thing that requires a fundamental change in the engine itself.
Yeah.
Since we were making the jump to next gen, this was the perfect opportunity to do it. But it's really challenging. Not only the technical stuff, like replication, making sure that 5,000 NPCs are replicated in each person's screen, right?
Yeah.
That in itself is a huge challenge. But even the gameplay, how to make a, co-op can mean many different things. What exactly does co-op in Assassin's Creed mean? For us, it means taking the Assassin's Creed experience and just having you be able to share it with other friends, right? And it's really about complementary skills, complementary ways of doing things, and how 1 + 1 = 3 instead of 2, right? Mm-hmm. Because of that complementarity.
The way it's sort of set up or explained is that each of the assassins is the main character in their own game. Is that correct? Yeah.
Exactly, and this is because, in previous AC games, the story was the main motivator for completing the game, and this really goes against the concept of an open world, because if you're stuck in a linear story, it really, the end of the world is about to happen and you stop and you fish for 4 hours, right? So it's a little bit counterintuitive. So we decided to change the motivation of progression of the game to actual character progression. So your main motivator in ACU is Arnaud's journey from novice to master assassin, which means that everything you do in the city, from the Arnaud's redemption quest, which is single player, to the 11 different co-op missions, which we call Brotherhood missions, to the hundreds of different quests in Paris, all of that gives you something that will help you progress Arnaud. Skill points that actually allow you to buy skills, equipment, money, or weapons. So, since the glue that gels everything together is Arnaud, we needed to keep Arnaud consistent throughout the game so that we didn't get 2 separate experiences like we had before with single player and multiplayer. This is why, from everybody's point of view, you are always playing Arnaud, and we just replace your friends' faces with generic faces from our database of assassin faces.
Cool. Assassin's Creed Unity is out October 28th.
Yes.
75 days, like I said.
Yep.
Alex, thanks so much
My
for
pleasure,
the show.
man.
Big fan, really excited for it. So
Thanks.
stay tuned, lots more to come from IGN Live at Gamescom, brought to you by Dead Island 2, right after these messages.